All right, welcome to That Davis Show. I am your host, Kenneth Davis. Follow me on all social media platforms at That's Davis. Always check out and follow executive producer Ryan Bukovetsky at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski1 on Instagram, even though he will not follow you back. It's the type of man he is.
Don't give no Fs.
No Fs given. All right, so on this episode of the show, the question that Ryan has presented us with is, would you choose to know your future if it meant forgetting your past? This is a pretty good question. It's one of those catch-22s as far as you got to cut off your nose, you know what I'm saying, to hinder your face. All right, so if I could choose to know the future if it meant forgetting my past. So I feel...
And I want to clarify, not forgetting motor function movements.
Yes, okay. I thought that, but you're right. You should clarify.
It
so you can still talk, walk, chew, read, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You still have your cognitive abilities, but as far as knowing your own history or you know your memory of your own
past memories that specifically deal with you in your life in specific moments. I don't even want it to be I've been learning Spanish for the last 5 years, so now I've forgotten that to trade in for the future.
You still have
just memories.
Right. So if you were a doctor, you would still be a doctor.
Yes. You're not trading in a third year of medical school to get this.
So, okay. Because that's how I thought, but I'm happy that you clarified it just so everyone else knows. This is a big no for me. Because I'm the only benefit of knowing my future would want to be to know my death or the deaths of the people that's close to me, which I don't want to know, to be honest with you. Maybe I don't even want to put that on my family and even bring that hypothesis into this, just off of energy or whatever. But also to hit the lotto, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I feel like.
Well, what if it was like this too? You're not trading in, you're gonna give away some serious memories. But what if it was like a storefront? You go in, you could just do it one time. Trade in some memories for some future knowledge.
Don't see, but I would think that the storefront would want the memories that mean the most to you in this sick world that we live. It wouldn't be.
I feel like it's almost like a trade-off. What happens to me? Just you would ask the big questions. What happens to me, life or death? What happens to me, career-wise? If you're asking that stuff, I think the price is higher up on the memories. But if it was hey, I just want to know
the lotto. You think they're not going to want some pure memories?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. They're going to want heavy memories for the lotto. I'm thinking more so if it's something smaller. I can't think of a good example, but let's say you want to know when the Bears would win a Super Bowl. That's way less knowledge than something else, kind of thing.
Okay, now I'll be willing if you're telling me that I can exchange when the Bears win the Super Bowl on some Marty McFly Sports Almanac type stuff where I can gamble on it, because some of the stuff I can't gamble on it.
Well, it depends on the price again. You can gamble on it, but you're trading higher memories.
If I cannot financially benefit from this, I don't want to play this game. How about let me go, because that's to me it's one of those things. These things are so insignificant. Knowing when the Bears win another Super Bowl, if I can't profit about it, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather not know so I can enjoy it organically than be everybody being let's just say hypothetically the Bears win the Super Bowl in 7 years, right? And I know this. So through the ups and downs that Brian Poles, Ian Cunningham, and Matty Eberflus go through, let's just say hypothetically that this regime is still here and they're supposed to win it, I know that, and that becomes insignificant to me because I know they're going to win. And then the year, however they start, good or bad, and when they lose and people jump on and jump off, I'm still going to know. So I'm not enjoying it already because I know the plot line. So to me,
I guess I was thinking of it more so as something that's not life or death, nothing going to necessarily, I guess, just change everything about you. I'm trying to think of maybe another example. Let's say knowing if aliens were going to come on the earth, assuming they haven't already, but let's say there was a point in time you asked when the next natural disaster would be, type thing. Like maybe not so much getting the pinpointed details, or give them maybe some of the less memories that you wouldn't mind losing, type thing.
Okay. The only issue with that scenario now is this natural disaster. Does it involve an area which I live in?
See, I think with some of this stuff, I think the more specific you get towards you, the more you have to give up. So this might just still speak to your point.
All right. But then it goes to, now I know that people are going to die because of this natural disaster, and I have no way for these people to believe me not to be in that place. So now I'm tortured because I can't do anything, and they think I'm a loony bin. I'm a lunatic, I should say, and put me in the loony bin. But they think I'm a lunatic because I'm out here like a person heard in a sign like John 3:13 or whatever, and he told us on this day, and it's like, so that I'm sorry, it's because nothing. Okay, just let me think how I initially came into this question. I don't want to lose the memories of my family members, particularly my family members that have died. There's a lot of stuff that's not worth me losing that. You know what I'm saying? My brother, my dad, my grandmothers, you know what I'm saying? My grand aunts, just all my friends, my friends that got killed when I was a young man, you know what I'm saying? Going through high school and just going away to school when, we're still in that area where your friends are getting murdered and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, unfortunately, growing up in a city like Chicago, that's a part of your transition in life. You know what I'm saying? Where you're going to funerals and stuff like that with for your classmates and some of your best buddies. Those people still live on in my memories. So I wouldn't want to lose those people. And now I get some people, that's fine. And if that's fine for you, that's great for you. But I treasure those people too much for them to be gone in a race for anything that wasn't going to drastically change my financial situation. That's the
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. Yeah, it's really tough. I don't know. Like, are there any memories that are kind of worthwhile?
I got memories. I definitely got memories that are worth getting tossed.
Let me say memories that are worth tossing that have value. Because obviously, like a bad memory, like you have no real value other than maybe learning from the situation type thing.
This is a great question from this point. I forget memories and they're re-triggered. This like if anybody saw, we got an episode that's probably will be out when you hear this one that we haven't put out yet. And I'm talking about some past. Has you ever been in a situation where someone and you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, you're courting and another person pulls up on you or whatever like that? You know what I'm saying? So like, and in that episode, it triggered more memories of different stuff that I was writing during that episode. So I forget memories anyway. So I'd be willing to let some of these joints go. But it's one of those, it's just like, what am I getting out of me? Again, if the information you're giving me can't be specific to me, and it's just like, hey, Ken, what's the point to a certain degree? Now, again, I'll say this. We live in a world now for clout. People do a lot of weird shit, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of people that would come. There should be this show as a kid on Fox called Friday the 13th. I don't know if you were old enough to watch it, right? So you hear that show and it makes you think it's about Jason or something, right? Nah, it was about this antique shop that had these cursed trinkets and like, so it'd be like a lamp and the people that now are running it, they're trying to get all of the stuff back and lock it in the shop because it's out there destroying people's lives and shit, right? So and it's funny because when the show first came on, we was like, man, is it Jason? And they were watching like, this ain't got nothing to do with no Jason, but me and my brother still enjoy watching it or whatever, right? And so I imagine it'll be a shop like this with this right here where you're stranging these members, like some cursed shop for whatever. And the point that I'm bringing up, or I'm setting that stage for it, is because people would do this for clout, where that people would give you tasty memories for clout. You know what I'm saying? And it baffles me. Not to say that sometimes I may not. I don't slip into clout, but I slip into the new world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, wait, this isn't kind of how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, these standards aren't to the standard, you know what I'm saying, that of masculinity is what, you know what I'm saying, you're looking at being an ideal man or woman as far as being a chatty Cathy and talking about things that have nothing to do with you whatsoever, other people's business or whatever. I try not to do that, but I feel like I'm susceptible to it, particularly at times on this platform, which is the reason we kind of don't do that as much as we did back in the days or whatever, right? But still, I think the scenario works because some people would do it, but it's one of those things. Sure. It's one of those things where character-wise, it doesn't appeal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like some things. It's easy for me to be like, nah, that ain't for me. I get why y'all do it, but that's just not for me. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So but now, and I've done all this talking. What about you? What would you be willing to give up? How tasty would the memories you would give up to get the information, or how basic and bland would the memories it would be used, and what type of information would you get in both scenarios if you were put into that type of a situation?
I feel like I'm the type that would do this, that would trade past memories for future knowledge. That being said, I'd really want to know what I'm getting. You know, like you said, if you're just kind of getting information that doesn't directly affect you and you're losing those type of memories where it's something that directly affects you or that directly you were involved in, that's a little difficult to trade up. But I do feel honestly that besides like certain memories and things, and you even said it before, like you've asked me to think of some more stories to bring on here, and it's not that I just don't want to. I do not think of memories until I'm like triggered by something. I usually don't just think like that. And a lot of times, badly enough, I've probably forgotten too much stuff because I haven't written it down or talked about it enough. So it's not stuck in there. That's why I feel like I would be the ultimate candidate for something like this, where I kind of look at memories. Obviously, there's the ones that I hold very dear and near, but I feel like I would trade a lot to get that future knowledge. I really would.
Really?
I like knowing things. I like having the wool pulled out from like your eyes type thing. Seeing like being in a dark room with no light and then having that room just illuminated all of a sudden. I love that kind of stuff. I want to know the future, I feel like. And maybe not even necessarily for my own future gain, but to your point, I am human. I need some future gain to give up the past memories. There's got to be an element of some kind of gains that I make. Ideally, where I'm just not working anymore. That would be the one.
Listen, I hope you would benefit me. You willing to give up some? Like for me, like
I don't know you. I'm giving up that memory. I don't know you, sir.
Listen, this is wait, hold on. I'm sorry. No, let me finish doing this. Look, I know you, but there are things we have never talked about because it's so sensitive. So to hear you say that, it intrigues me to want to know more about the memories you'd be willing to give up. To be honest with, like, see, there's some stuff we got to talk about, and I would like to do it on here so people would know, but yeah.
Well, we can always talk the sensitive stuff on here.
Let me put my phone down so we can finish this.
Just phone down, sir. Can we forget it?
It's the kittens, man. It's the kittens. Give one to the older stuff earlier, or forgetting on this one. There's some things. I mean, like Ryan has an interesting ass life. When you get to know him, he just doesn't share it. He just doesn't. So, like, I mean, like, would you be willing to give up memories of your dad?
No, but my struggle is I'm just forgetting a lot, to be honest. It's just I'm no
time the separation.
Specifically with that scenario, if we're going to the storefront, they're like, "Hey, dad memories." Part of me would be like, "You're gonna forget a lot of those still." And even when you have your kids, hopefully one day, a lot of stuff is gonna get deleted on top of that.
That's a great one. That's a great perspective, to be honest with you, for you to say that. Wow, bro. That's a great. We got to dive into something like this one day. I love it. I love the honesty in you saying that. All right, that's over. I love the honesty in you saying that, because it's rational too. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's
Like
me to a T. I'm a wretch.
like, for instance, this is the thing, and I always say this. I was on this wonderful podcast last year. I forget what the name of it was, and the host asked me, one of the hosts, if I could bring someone back to life, who would it be? And I said, me personally, I wouldn't bring anyone back, to be honest with you. If they're me talking about the people that I love the most, maybe like, again, talking about losing some of my best friends to murder. Like one of my closest and best friends in grade school, and even we were still close in high school. His name is Vernon Henderson, right? We used to call him Vinny G. To be out there. He was from the Manor, and he moved over by O Block, right? Which I always wonder if that had something to do with him being murdered with the BDs over there. He was GD. And Vernon died, like, we were 15 when he got murdered. So as I grew older, I would always think, damn, Vernon never got to do this. You know, Vernon and Jaron Freeman. Jaron died when I was like 19 years old. He was murdered. But I always be like, and I would see Jaron. He stayed close to me, and we were really good friends. But we were frenemies. But at this point, we were that was our childish side or whatever. My brothers in the same age. We had our science project. Like we were close, but sometimes we'd be at each other too, right? But as we were in high school, we would see each other, and we see each other at Speedy Kitchen. This was what we called this gas station on 76 and Jeffrey. We would see each other up there all the time or whatever. So I would think about bringing someone back like that who didn't get to experience as much as life as I did. But I told them, so Father's Day just passed, right? And my niece, I was with my niece, her younger brother. We went to celebrate him graduating preschool. We all went to stay at Great Wolf Lodge. We only stayed for a day. Because we had thought we had other plans initially. But I went and hung out with her. You know, she loves me. She loves us. We love her to death. And she sends me a Father's Day text. And to be honest with you, I just start breaking down. Because it's like, you know, that's my brother's text. Not to say my niece wanted to send me a Father's Day text, but that text is for my brother. And my brother's gone. So before I start breaking down here, I was like on the show, I was like, I'll bring my brother back for his kids. That's what I would do. But me personally, somebody like, and I still would do that, even if he didn't have kids, just because he was so young or whatever. But I'm selfish in a way. Like, one of the greatest loves of my life was my father. And I've always kind of been like, I would never bring my dad back because I don't know if I could take losing him again. Right. Like, it just, it tore me down in a way that I didn't even know that I was depressed as long as I was depressed until I realized, yeah, I'm not feeling like I was functioning in depression, but I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it wasn't as heavy as depression can get where it's really bad, but it wasn't what the sun feels like shining like today. You know what I'm saying? Where I know I don't have that cloud over my head. So that's interesting, getting back again into how you feel. But that's, like I said, how when it comes to that, like, I wouldn't want to go through the loss.
Yeah, that's a good point. I couldn't imagine going through the loss again either.
Right.
Like, that was the toughest thing I've probably done to date.
I bet. You know what I'm saying? I bet. So that's just really interesting. I mean, that's one of the things here. You know, again, you know, just two dudes and sharing some of the stuff that we've been through and some of our thoughts, but also just trying to give you a piece of honesty. Now, a lot of people want to
some perspective,
shit.
Right? Just give some perspective, some different thought, a different angle.
Right. Our angle. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we always appreciate it. Ryan, great job as usual with the topics that you've been bringing up. We're going to be dropping these shows. We're going to be back regularly. Again, we kind of took a hiatus. We're tired. We got other stuff that we do, right?
The beginning of the summer, there's some sickness in there,
right,
all kinds of stuff.
But we'll be regularly bringing you all more content. Please subscribe. Share this with other people so they can subscribe. Definitely on YouTube. Any other place you pick up platforms for podcasts, but definitely on YouTube. You know, share this. Subscribe. If you like it, you know, share it to someone else that you think is like-minded and like it. or share it to somebody you think that hate it, but they still like to watch stuff they hate. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I guess if that's what
We'll
they
take
need
it
in their
anyway.
life. If that's what they need in their life. But we just to say we always appreciate, and we've always appreciated, as Ryan said, through any iteration of this show, you spending some of your time with us as we try to do a little therapy here from time to time, because talking helps. You know what I'm saying? Getting someone to listen to you and reliving those stories. Just real quick, just now, the people that died in our lives briefly lived again.
Mm-hmm.
Briefly, just from being spoken about. You know what I'm saying? Like, just briefly. And that's the thing with just talking to people and having a conversation. It's one of the reasons I'm bad at cutting off conversations, as far as like if I'm at work and you come up to my desk and I'm busy, I let you talk to me regardless, because you just never know what lending the ear can do for someone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for yourself too. Like, suddenly you might feel better for no reason whatsoever that you planned.
Or gain some knowledge. So just, I guess it's some be kind of shit, but just be considerate of people, man, because you never know what you can
and be
doing
open-minded. You don't know what life will throw your way just from accepting a conversation with somebody that you didn't plan on doing it. You'd be surprised.
Definitely. So that's it for Ryan and myself. We always appreciate it, and we look forward to talking to you down the line.